Before we start learning about NgRx effects, in this lecture, let's go ahead and let's create a state, actions, and reducer for auth feature also. So let's go to VS Code, and here for now, let me go ahead and let me close these files. So I'll close this auth.service.ts file as well as LoginComponent file. And in the auth folder, we are going to create a new folder called states. Okay, and inside the states folder, let's go ahead and let's create an auth state file. So I'll call it as auth.state.ts. In this file, we are going to create and export an object. So here I'm going to create an object and I'm going to call it as initialState. And to this, let's assign an object. And inside this object, I want to have a user property, which is initially going to be null. And here, let me also create a type. So here, again, I'm going to create and export an interface and I'm going to call it as authState. Okay, in this interface, for now, we are simply going to specify one property, which is user, and this user is going to be of type user. So let's import it, or it can be null. Okay, so initially this user should be null. So that's why we are also specifying a type as null for this user. And once the user is logged in or registered, then we are going to assign this user state with a user object. So for now, I'm only going to keep one state property here. Let's save this file. Next, in the state folder, we are going to create another file and I'm going to call it as auth.actions.ts. Now here, for now, we are going to create two states. The first state will be loginStart. So let's go ahead and let's create and export an object. Let's call it as loginStart. Okay, and to create an action, again, we are going to use createAction function and we need to import it from NgRx store. Here, we need to specify a type. So since this action will be performed on auth state, first I'll specify auth and then I'll specify login start. So this login start action, we are going to dispatch this action whenever a user clicks on the login button. So whenever the user wants to log in, and for login, the user has to provide his email and password. So for this action, we are going to specify a props. And to use this props, we also need to import it from NgRx store. Here, we are going to specify the type. And to make things more readable, let me move it to a separate line. Okay, in this props, I'm going to specify an object. Here, the payload should have an email field of type string, and it should also have a password field, password property of type string. And let's also invoke it. So this is one action I want. Another action will be login success. So let me also go ahead and let me export another action, another object, and let's call it as login success. So when the login is success, at that time, we are going to dispatch this login success action. And to create this login success action, we are again going to use createAction method. Here, let's specify the type. So again, this is also going to be called on auth state, and let's say login success. And when the login is success, at that time also, we are going to pass some props. So for that, again, let's use props. So when the login is success, we are going to pass a user object of type user. And to use this user type, we need to import it. Okay, so when the login is success, after that, we are going to dispatch this login success action. And with that action, we are going to dispatch the logged in user detail. So for now, I'll only keep login start and login success. We will also add login fail in case the login attempt has failed. So for that also, we will add some action. But for now, let's keep only these two. And let's save the changes. Next, let's go ahead and let's create a reducer file. So let's call it as auth.reducer.ts. Inside this file, we are going to create a reducer. So here, let's go and let's create a constant and let's call it authReducer. And to create a reducer, we need to use createReducer method, this createReducer function. And to this createReducer function, we need to pass one mandatory argument, which is the initial state. So here to this, as the first argument, I'm going to pass the initial state. Now this initial state, basically we need to pass the auth state as the first argument. And we are storing the auth state object in the initial state variable. So we are going to import that initial state variable and we are going to pass it to this create reducer. Later, we will also create some reducer functions for different actions, but for now, I'm going to keep it as it is. Let's save the changes here. Now finally, let's go ahead and let's also add a selector file. So here I'm going to call it as auth.selector.ts, and inside this, we are going to create a selector. So again, let's go ahead and let's create and export a variable using this const. Let's call it as select auth feature. Okay, and here we are going to create a feature selector. So for that, we are going to use this create feature selector function. And to this, first we need to specify the name of the state. So for that, what I'm going to do is in our constant.ts file, I'm going to create another state name. So here, let's go ahead and let's create and export another constant and let's call it as auth underscore state. Okay, and to this, let's assign auth. Let's save the changes. And now we are going to use this auth state and we are going to pass it to this create feature selector. So here, let's go ahead and let's pass auth underscore state. So here we have created a feature selector. Using this feature selector, we can create selectors now. So here actually I don't need to export it. We're just creating it. Okay, and here we are going to export the selector. So here I'm going to call it as get user or get logged user. And to create the selector, we are going to use create selector function. To this, first we need to pass the feature selector, or let me call it as auth feature selector, and let's pass that here. And as the second argument, we are going to get the state. From that state, we are simply going to return state.user, so the current value of the user state. And here we have this error because here we also need to specify the type for the feature selector, and the type here is going to be auth state. And to use this auth state, we also need to import it. All right, so for now, we are going to keep only one selector, get logged user, and later if we need other selectors, we will add it. Let's save this file. Now here we have created the state, reducer, actions, and also selectors. But currently the Angular application does not know about this auth state. For that, what we need to do is, let's go to auth.module.ts file, and in there, here, we are going to import store module, and we need to import it from NgRx store, and on that, we are going to use for feature. Now here, we need to pass two values. The first value will be the name of the state. So we want to call the state as auth, and for that, we have created a constant auth underscore state. So that I'll pass as the first argument, and the second argument will be the reducer, which will be mapped to that state. In this case, we are going to we are going to map auth reducer, and to use it again, we need to import it. Let's add a comma. So in this way, we have created the auth related state and the actions and the reducers. Now let's just verify that this state is getting loaded. So let's save the changes. Let's go to our application and let me open the developer tool, and there let's go to Redux. Okay, let me move it a little bit up. So currently we are in the login page. So auth module has been loaded, and for that auth module, if you see, we have this state called auth, name is auth, and in that we have one state property which is user, and the current value of that is null. So in this way, we have created the state for our auth module for the auth feature. Now what we want is, whenever this login button is clicked, we are going to dispatch this login start action. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's go to login folder, and there let's go to LoginComponent.ts, and from here, for now, I'll simply comment this code, because now we are not directly going to get the logged in user here. Instead, for that, we are going to use NgRx effect, and using NgRx effect, we are going to set the user state, and wherever we want to use the value of that user state, for that we have already created a selector, so we will use that selector. But for now, we are simply going to dispatch the login start action. And for that, first of all, inside this, so we are not going to use this auth service anymore inside this component, inside this login component. But for now, I'll keep it. And let's go ahead and let's inject an instance of store here. So I'll call the property as store, and it is going to be of type store. And for this store, let's specify the type as app state. Okay. And now from here, let's simply say this dot store dot dispatch, and we want to dispatch an action. Which action do we want to dispatch? We want to dispatch login start action. So we need to import it and we need to call it. Okay, now when we are dispatching this action, if I go to that action, you will see that with that action, we also need to pass the email and password. So let's go ahead and let's do that. I'll not comment this line, I'll uncomment it. And here we are going to pass an object with email and password. All right, and here I don't need to explicitly assign the values, because this email property, we want to assign it with this email variable. So since the names are same, it will be implicitly assigned, and same is true for password also. Let's see if the changes, and if we go to our application again, let's quickly check if the action is getting dispatched or not. So here I'll enter test@gmail.com, and for the password, let's say test1234. And when I click on this login button, you see login start action has been dispatched. And with that action, you will see it has dispatched this object where we have the email property, the password property, and the type of the action which has been dispatched. All right, now in the next lecture, let's learn what is NgRx effect and when we should use NgRx effect. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.